Hello my friends, welcome back to Keto and the Chaos. My name is Tammy, and on this channel I like to share all my tips and tricks on how I lost 200 pounds without surgery and how you can be successful on your own weight loss journey. So if that's what you're looking for, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for more videos like this one to inspire you. To get started, welcome. As you guys come in, don't forget to give a thumbs up to this video so that it goes out to YouTube algorithms better, and don't forget to comment and say hello as you're coming in so that I can say hello back. I am in my car today. So what happened was my daughter informed me just yesterday that she has a teaching job here at the dance studio, and I have to sit in my car for 2 hours, 2.5 hours waiting for her. So it was either put it off another week, and I already missed last week because if I wasn't feeling that great, or go ahead and do it this week and do it in the car. So we're in the car. Prayers that I have enough cell phone service that it won't cut out. If I do cut out, I will just have to say sorry and move to next week. So far it seems to be working okay. So other than the noise, and I do apologize for that. Maybe I should roll up my windows. I'll probably die though because it's so hot. That's an airplane going over. Hopefully it's not too bad. It's only 90 something here, and I am in the shade at the current moment, so hopefully I won't die because I have like no gas. So I can't even like run my car and like have AC because I have no gasoline. Apparently my son ran it out last night, and I gotta get some before I get on the freeway and head home. But anyway, welcome. I'm glad you guys are here. It is kind of a crazy day. So who do we have? We have Lisa Smith. We have Debbie Lyman, Max Zoo. Oh, 116 in Phoenix. Oh, I love the heat. I do. Don't get me wrong. I love the heat, and I'm grateful that it's July, but that sounds horrifying. Let's see. Rosie Sales, Barbara Rodriguez, Harpreet Carrera. I hope that's it. I hope I said that right. Oh my heck. Kahera. Harpreet Kahera. I don't even know. That's close. Let's see who's here. Susan Rapp from Chicago. Welcome. Barbara Rodriguez wants to know what I ate for breakfast. Can anyone answer that for her? The answer is nothing. Nothing at all, because it is only 11 a.m. here in Utah, and I usually don't eat until 1 or 2 p.m. for my first meal of the day. So I haven't eaten anything yet, but I bet you know what I'm gonna eat because I've been eating the same thing every day for like a month. I've been having that custard with the protein shake and the eggs mixed up, and I've been having a couple pieces of bacon and 2 ounces of cheese and a sugar-free Jello every single day. So that's pretty much what I've eaten every day for like, it feels like a really long time. Gina's here. She says she just watched my video on hide and seek about the fires. Yeah, it was really creepy. It burned. So I never got a chance to like, because I moved on from the fires and I never talked about them again. So just in case you're curious, that first fire burned about 500 acres. I think they said 500 acres. Yeah. And it didn't ever touch any homes. The second fire that I just mentioned in the video yesterday burned 10,000 acres and did damage one home and the backyards of some of them, but there was no loss of life and no significant like neighborhoods lost. But they were really scary fires. We get fires in Utah a lot, but we don't usually get fires so close to homes. And both of those fires were dangerously close to home. Where I live, I'm kind of like on the edge of the city suburban-y area, and it's like pushing right up against a lot of open space, which I love because I feel like I'm living in the country and I have an acre and we can have chickens and we can have a little mini farm, but I'm very close to, like right now I'm practically in downtown Salt Lake. I'm really close to downtown Salt Lake, about 5 minutes out. And so I can come here for dance classes and everything, and it's not too far of a drive. So yeah, it's really great. Anyway, welcome everybody. I'm so glad you're here. I said it right. Oh, good. Thanks, Harpreet. All right. And she's from New York. Welcome. Patricia Diaz from California, and Rebecca Smith. Awesome. Okay. So today we're talking about keto adaptation, or being fat adapted, what that means and how it can help you in your weight loss journey. The idea was suggested to me from it was Sensible. Oh my heck, I always mess up her name. Sensible, spelled Centible. Sensible Talk with Mom or something like that. Oh my gosh, you guys. Somebody correct me if you know it. But I just recently found her channel, and she's been watching mine, and she asked me, what does it mean to be fat adapted? Can I make a video about that? I've never made a video about this. In all of my 3.5 years of keto and 2.5 years on YouTube, I don't think I've ever made a specific video that talked about being fat adapted, what that means, what that looks like, and why you would want that. So that's what we're doing today. It won't be super long. The amount of information that I understand about being fat adapted is probably about this. There's probably a lot more information out there and available. Dr. Finney, even, like, I went and checked out what he wrote about being fat adapted, and it's a very small amount of information, but it is a vital part of success on keto and in weight loss. So we're going to talk about it, because why not? All right. So being fat adapted is also sometimes called keto adaptation, but the two things are a little bit different. You can be fat adapted on a carbohydrate diet that's a little higher in carbs than what the amount of carbs you would do for a keto, nutritional ketosis diet. So being fat adapted basically means that your body has changed. Your cells and the way your body functions has changed from burning glycogen, from burning sugar as a fuel source, to burning ketones from fat as a fuel source. And it is seamless at that point. So you'll get the benefits of that right away when you start keto, but you won't actually get to be fat adapted for about 4 to 6 weeks of doing that. So the difference between being fat adapted and keto adapted is, of course, that keto adapted has an even lower amount of carbohydrates, and it's basically you've starved all the glycogen out, and your body really becomes seamless in the way it does it. Now, Dr. Finney didn't go into the nitty-gritty details of the difference. He just said that it's different, but suffice it to say, for this video, they're the same thing. For what we need to understand, for what we're doing for weight loss, we don't need to worry about anything but being fat adapted. So the way you get fat adapted, of course, is you start a ketogenic diet. And when you start a ketogenic diet, the only thing that makes it ketogenic is eating few enough carbs that puts you into ketosis. So the amount of carbs you can eat to get to that point varies per person, but across the board, it seems that 20 carbs is going to put every single person on the planet into ketosis. Now that's 20 total carbs. If you want to get into the net carbs, you can go a lot higher than that. So Dr. Finney says 30 to 60 net carbs, you can pretty much stay in ketosis. For me, when I'm eating my maintenance calories and I'm having a lot more like bars and things like that, I tend to get up to be about 50 or 60 net carbs. I mean, not net carbs, total carbs, but still sticking to the 21 or fewer net carbs. So a net carb is basically when you subtract the sugar, alcohols, and fiber from your total carb amount. So I really always say stick to 20. I always say 20, but I do 21. It's just kind of dumb, but I do. 20 net carbs should put you into a ketotic state, should put you into ketosis. And we've talked about in other videos the signs of getting into ketosis, and those signs are kind of similar to being fat adapted, but there's a couple of big differences. So when you first get into ketosis, you're going to have some weird things happen to you that don't necessarily affect you anymore once you get to be fat adapted. So we talked about a few weeks ago the 10 annoying things about keto and what to do about them. Basically like bad breath and BO and, what's the other things? I can't remember all the bad things, but those things that are involved with your body making too many ketones and you secreting ketones, like in your sweat, in your urine, in your mouth. Those things, when you get to be fat adapted, that's actually something that you notice, is that those weird, sorry, there's another plane. They're literally right above my head. So close. Anyway, those are literally the things that you, that kind of go away, because your body gets really good at burning the ketones that it needs and really good at making only what the ketones that it needs, and it's really seamless. Basically, you need to have maintained a low carb diet for several weeks and be in nutritional ketosis. And when you do that, eventually what it does is it changes the way your cells work. So your cells will open up to ketones instead of glycogen. They will go for ketones as its first primary fuel source versus searching for glycogen or sugars. So it also really opens up your genetic code, because basically sugar can sometimes silence parts of your cells because they're not needing those parts of your cells to work, right? Because it doesn't need it. But when you open it up to keto or nutritional ketosis, and you spend enough time, your cell's genetic makeup will change and open up these parts of the cell that no longer work in order to be able to effectively use those ketones so well. And so that's why it takes about 4 to 6 weeks to get to that point, to kind of like wake your cells up. And when you do that, there are some really, really awesome benefits. So the number one benefit that Dr. Finney points out, well, the two benefits that Dr. Finney points out that are the most important about making it this long on a keto diet are the reduction in metabolic syndrome and the reduction in type 2 diabetes. So Dr. Finney went into this whole process to try and cure type 2 diabetes. That is literally his mission. So a lot of times people will tell me that I can't eat all that protein because I have type 2 diabetes. And I'm like, that's literally what Dr. Finney created this for. So if it was going to affect your diabetes, he wouldn't tell people to have 1.2 to 2 grams per kilogram of protein for lean mass. Like, he wouldn't suggest that, because it would be a thing that he would suggest not to do if it was going to affect diabetes. So becoming fat adapted is one of the main benefits, is that it decreases type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome when you get to that point. Okay, so it might not at the beginning, but after you do it long enough, it should, as you get to that point. But basically what happens is that your body becomes adapted to running on fat instead of carbs. And there are some great benefits to that. So number one, your body becomes very efficient at switching back and forth from dietary fat to body fat. That is what helps you burn the fat. That's what makes you have more success than eating a low calorie diet that's, you know, maybe a standard American diet. So say you ate 1,200 calories of donuts every day, and then you starved the rest of the day because you felt like you were dying because your body was begging you for sugar all day. You're still going to have more fat burn from your body doing keto and eating 1,200 calories, because your body is seamless at going back and forth between body fat and dietary fat, right? Does that make sense? So I hope that makes sense. So whatever you eat, your body is going to burn that first. And that's why when I'm doing a keto cut, I try and decrease my fats to a lowest level as I can handle, what hormones and brain health can handle, in order to force my body to switch and burn body fat. And it will do that quite seamlessly. Another great benefit is very decreased appetite. You'll find it very difficult to get your food in and to get the calories in that you feel like you need, because your body is not begging you for food. It knows it doesn't need dietary fat to function. It has plenty of body fat. The bigger you are, it seems the more benefit that is, at least for me. As I've gotten a lot smaller, my body definitely doesn't love me forcing it to burn body fat. And it makes me more hungry now. And I have more of an appetite, more of an appetite now than I did when I was 374 pounds and doing this. Well, I was about 350 when I hit keto fat adaptation phase. And I knew when I hit it because I got real calm. My emotions weren't all over the place. My blood sugars didn't go up and down. I didn't feel controlled by my food. I felt in control. I felt relaxed. I felt calm. I felt clear. This mental clarity that they talk about on keto, when you become fat adapted, that's when it really hits, especially if you've managed your electrolytes really well that first 4 to 6 weeks. When you hit keto adaptation, fat adaptation, you get real clear-headed, and it's like, it literally feels like you're walking out of a fog. And all of a sudden you see the world way differently. And you see yourself more realistically and less crazy. Like, you don't criticize yourself as much. At least that was for me. I would just really chill. It almost felt like going on Prozac. That's the way I describe it. It's like going on a drug that helped me to just chill out, because I was very manic before keto. I was up and down and up and down. Now, we know I have my downs. I had a down last Tuesday for very good reasons. I had kind of talked about it a little bit, but I had, I don't even know exactly what happened, but I had my best friend of 15 years, her sister, and two of my brothers unfriended me on Facebook over racism. And it was hard. So I had a rough day last Tuesday, but I'm okay now. I am okay now. But yeah, I still get depressed, but my depression does not get as low as it used to. I don't sink into that horrible phase, and my highs don't get as high. So I'm not as fun. Admittedly, I'm not as fun as I was pre-keto. But I'm also not as scary, and my kids much prefer me to be calm and like they can know and trust that mom's not going to fly off the handle for nothing at any given moment, because I'm much more chill. Another really great benefit, especially if you're wanting to start exercise, is your endurance all of a sudden kicks in. So at the very beginning of keto, you'll notice, especially that first week, that you literally feel like you're dragging. If you have been a major athlete before you start keto and you go into that first week raring to go, thinking you're going to have this endurance, you won't. You will feel, your muscles will crap out on you. You'll feel really terrible. Your body doesn't know how to deal yet. It's still figuring it out. It's still figuring out how to run on fat. Fat doesn't give you that big burst of energy that you can get really quickly by ingesting a lot of sugar. Fat is a lot more even keel, and it takes your body a minute to figure out how to use that effectively in sports and endurance and that kind of thing. So actually, when I did keto the first time, I did it with a doctor. I didn't know I was doing keto, but his recommendation was always to never exercise that first week. And now I know why. Now I understand the science of why. He didn't tell me why, but now I know why, that it's highly recommended that you just kind of go into ketosis, chilling out a little bit, till your body gets used to it. But you'll know when you hit that, because all of a sudden your endurance will be really long. So that's why a lot of athletes now are finding that if they're endurance runners, they're finding that a keto way of eating is really helping them to be more successful, because they have even more endurance than they did when they were able to carb refeed as they went, because they have a steady supply and it's much more even and the body burns it more carefully. So I want you guys to picture, if you have some powdered sugar sitting on a little petri dish and you light it on fire, what's going to happen? Right? Big old flame, and then boom, it's gone. If you put some oil and a wick, and we all know we burn candles all the time. We use wax for that. But if you have oil and a little wick, it'll just burn and burn and burn and burn, right? And that's the difference between burning fat and burning carbs. Carbs give you that super quick burst of energy. And you can get that by ingesting easily metabolized oils, which is why bulletproof coffee and MCT oil and things like that are really popular. They aren't necessarily beneficial to people who are trying to lose weight. Ingesting extra fats to get more energy is just going to give you more energy in the moment and give you readily accessible fat that your body can burn really quickly and get a better burn. But over the long term, when you're trying to lose weight, it's going to inhibit you. So if you're an athlete, MCT oil before an big activity is probably a good idea. If you're just trying to lose weight, don't bother. You don't need that. You don't need that. You just need to get into this fat oh my gosh, why can I never say adaptation? It's like it doesn't come out of my mouth correctly, even though I know how to say it. But when you get to that point, then your body can just use that. If you're not like a marathoner or something, or like doing a lot of heavy lifting, you don't need to stress about that. In fact, electrolytes are key with a lot of that anyways. Your drop in energy is more electrolyte balancing than fat burning, if that makes any sense. Your decreased appetite, I talked about already, mental clarity, and endurance. And the number one that I noticed, so this is the last one on my list, but the number one that I noticed when I got to be fat adapted was it became easy. And I don't know if that's like a combination of the fact that I was now able to burn it more like evenly, and that I felt more in control, or what, but doing the low calorie and losing weight literally became simple, easy, no big deal. And I am to that point now with this cut. So I wonder, like last summer, I never really got to that place. And I'm wondering if I just kept kicking myself out of ketosis by, I think I had like a high fat day every week, and maybe I went over in carbs too much. I really don't know. I'm always second guessing myself about what I choose to do because, I'm never going to be perfect. We're all going to be changing and changing how we do stuff, right? As we go through this journey. I'm definitely not all knowing. We all know that. But the amount of information that I do know, I do feel like I'm hitting that keto adaptation this time, and I didn't really last time. I think I let my July 1st week last year really throw me for a loop because I think I ate too many treats that week, and so maybe I didn't quite get back into that adaptation phase, or maybe I really don't know. But I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm feeling like this is pretty easy right now, and when you get to that point, it feels like you can like do it forever. Like you don't feel stressed out about eating low calorie because you just don't feel stressed out about it. I don't even know how to explain it. It's very comforting, and you know when you hit it because you feel pretty good. Anyway, that is all I have on the subject. It wasn't super long. I'm sorry, I gotta move this thing so I can actually see the time. Ooh, there's my finger. Sorry. I have a chat window open apparently that is in my way. Did I lose you? I'm still here, right? Okay, so now is when we go into the question and answer portion, or if you guys have more information that I don't have about fat adaptation that you want me to add to this video, put it in the comments and I will get to it. I'm going to go back up to the top and start from there. And I'm just going to go until my kid is done. I'm not sure what time she will come out. I think the kids finish up around 11:30, but yesterday she didn't come out until noon. So I'm just going to keep talking as long as you guys ask questions or until she arrives. She's a teacher. That's why we have to be here. My kids aren't here because I didn't want to deal with that. Okay, back we go up to the top. Where are we? Oh, Pauline is here. Cooper's Cats from thunderstormy Spain. And it was a thunderstormy here 2 weeks ago, and I'm really glad it's not right now. Even though it's super hot in my car right now, I am super happy that it is hot. You guys know I hate the cold. So, though I feel like it is getting better though. So I've now been basically in the 100s, okay, for 2 years now. Is that right? 2 years? That can't be right. Yeah, it is. It is right. Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh. 2 years I've been under 200 pounds. That's such a phenomenal thing. I have not been 2 years under 200 pounds since I was mid-high school. Well, since before I hit my senior year in high school, I guess. And I'm 45, so that's a long time. So yeah, I have been at this kind of weight between 170 and 199 for 2 years now, and I'm finally getting to the place where I feel like I'm not freezing all the time. Though yesterday I got in the pool and the water was 85 degrees, so I should have been totally fine, but I still got chilled really bad when I got out, and I had to put on a sweatshirt and cuddle up under a blanket. Dave was like, "Do you have COVID? Check your temperature." My temp was great. My temperature runs very, very cold. So all my kids, like when you do the forehead thing, it's always like 98.6 on them, or at the very lowest, probably like 97.1. On me, every single time, it's 95.6 or lower. The thing doesn't even turn green because it's like I'm dead. Isn't that weird? I just run colder, and I don't know if that's a keto thing or if it's just my body losing all that weight and still trying to figure things out thing, but I just run colder than other people, so I get colder faster and easier than other people. But it was really fun playing in the pool with the kids and Dave last night. I had a great time. Hey, let's see, who else is here? Bellamonte, welcome. She's eating that keto custard that I've been talking about that Karen Odekirk suggested. Thank you, Karen. Woo! I wish she had a YouTube so you guys could follow her. She has a YouTube persona, but she doesn't do videos, I don't think. But she suggested that on my group, and I was like, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. How have I never done this before? It is so low in fat that if I didn't do the bacon, like my fats would be low, way too low. But it's so good. I could eat it for the rest of my life and be happy. I think I may. You guys are going to get tired of seeing it because it's every day I'm making it, because it takes 4 minutes in the microwave. It's like faster than cooking fried eggs. So fast. Lisa Mizrek is here from Pennsylvania. And flowers for Wonder Girl Sabrina is here. She's the best, you guys. Sabrina is so sweet. She watches me on Hide and Seek, and she sent Virginia a birthday gift a few weeks ago, and Eloise was a little jealous, and she kind of mentioned on a video that her birthday was coming up. It was on the 2nd. And Sabrina, the second she saw that, sent something in the mail, and I'm going to stop on my way home and pick that up for Eloise and have her open it this afternoon. So thank you, Sabrina. You're the best. You guys are so sweet. And Two Crazy Ketos sent Ruby for her birthday a giant dollhouse. Like, you guys are so nice. My girls love you. My girls love all of you. In both Keto Channel and Hide and Seek, because we have the best followers. We just have the sweetest people that follow us, and we're so grateful. Amari's mom is here. Welcome. And let's see. Oh, Sabrina says she's also lost friends and family over them denying the humanity of people. Oh, it is so rough. It's really hard to know, like, how to explain it without hurting people's feelings. Because, you know, it was only 6 years ago when someone told me I had white privilege and I reacted that way. I didn't know that. Growing up here in Utah, we were raised colorblind. I raised my kids colorblind. We were not allowed to say the word black in reference to a human being when we were kids, because that's racist. So that's how we were taught, and kind of how I raised my older kids, which is a big problem now, because now my older kids are also part of the problem. We adopted a kid from India, and I still raised her white. We called her brown. Well, she is brown, but we were very careful to not say the word black ever, because that's so offensive. I'm rolling my eyes right now a little bit. But I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. Since 6 years ago, someone called me on the floor, on the carpet, and said, "You raised your kid white." And I was like, okay, what does that even mean? Well, you know, you didn't teach her about racism. You didn't teach her about her culture. You didn't keep her culture in your home. You know, you extended your white privilege to her without explaining that she didn't get that by birth. All these things that I was like, huh? Anyway, it's been 6 years of me taking bits at a time when it wasn't a volatile issue. And when it was a volatile issue, I didn't get involved because I didn't know enough. And now that I'm more involved in being an ally and understand it a little bit, I don't understand everything. I still screw things up a lot. But now that I'm being an ally, I come across too much, and I'm scaring people off. And I'm trying to find that balance of gently exposing and quietly leading over time versus shutting down big old racism in a very not nice way. But I just can't do it anymore. I can't see them post stuff that's so horrible and not just like scream. I can't. And so they unfriended me. I don't know how that's going to go when COVID is over and we have to like go back to actually seeing each other. But I guess we'll find out. Thanksgiving and Christmas probably isn't going to be an issue this year. So I probably won't have to deal with it till next summer. But eventually I will have to deal with it. Right now, I'm just going to let it go. Because, you know, time does help. We all know that. Hey, Jennifer Costa's here. She's from North Carolina. North Carolina. Why do I always confuse those two places? Because I've never been to either place. And so I have no concept of what either place is even like. North and South Dakota, no idea. West Virginia, no idea. Never been there. But I've been to Georgia, so I know the difference between Georgia and Florida, because I've been both of those places. One of these days, when COVID is under control, I'm going to North Carolina. You guys know that I was planning to go to North Carolina and didn't go. And then the COVID hit. It's great. Oh, you're so sweet, though. Thank you. Andrea Johns is here. She's one of my coaching clients. I love you. Hello, good to see you. She says, I'm glad to join the party at Tammy's house or car. Yep. This is my car. It's hot out here. I have no AC. Mrs. Lewis is here. Mrs. L. Lewis. Lynn Anderson is here. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Keto Cricket, Tammy is here. She's my Tammy twin. I'm glad to see you, girl. She lives in Oregon. Scary place right now. But it's beautiful. I've been to Oregon. I love Oregon. Susan Rapp says, okay, Smart Sweets kicked me out of ketosis and spiked my blood glucose. I tested them and several other people say they kicked them out. Do they kick you out? Good question. They definitely do affect my blood sugar, but only by 20 points. My blood sugar has never gone above 120 after eating a Smart Sweets, and 120 is like normal for eating food, though mine normally stays around 95 all the time, eating or not. So for me, it did not kick me up, but ketosis wise, I don't know, because I'm eating the higher protein keto, and I don't know if you guys know, but when you're eating the higher protein keto, you don't test high on your ketones on a meter. So I can't tell you if it kicked me out of ketosis or not, because my meter's always low. I've hardly ever seen anything above a 0.2, like a 0.2 on a blood meter. So I go by how I feel, and I'm guessing based on how I feel now versus how I felt last summer. I felt starving last summer and pissy about it. That's the only word I can think of that describes how irritated I was that I had to do it. And I didn't follow it as carefully as I am this time. And I am having success this summer, and did not have much success last summer. It felt like pulling teeth. Whereas this summer, I feel like the fat's melting off of me. Though Tammi, Keto Cricket, did mention that I have been at a higher calorie level for a lot longer. I stayed, at 2,000 calories and above for 9 months. And maybe I kind of reset my metabolism and got my body more comfortable. And now it's like less afraid of dropping that weight. So, who knows? Whatever it is, I'm thrilled that it's happening. Like, I'm so thrilled. I'm now smaller. I did measure last Sunday. And I did post in the comments of the video, I don't know if people saw, that I was so dumb. I said that I lost a pound and a half, but I actually lost 2.5 pounds in a week. What? Holy crap. And then I measured myself, and I had lost, I can't remember how many inches, like 1.5, I think, but I lost 3/4 of an inch around my waist. I am now the official smallest waist measurement I've ever had, which was 28.5. How is that real? I'm back to wearing my size small stuff comfortably. My jeans that I'm wearing are like ones that were like, I could barely do them up at my smallest last year. So even though the scale has not said 174 yet, today it was 176.8, I believe, or 176.6. Oh, dude, really? Do you have to be cutting wood right now? Sorry about that. We're right next to a wood shop too. I've got all the noises out here in the industrial city. But yeah, so I'd never been that small. I've never fit in those jeans. So even though the scale has not said the lowest number it said last year, in fact, I got to 173 last year. That was my lowest. Hasn't said that yet, but I'm smaller. Go figure. Than I was when I got to that. So that's why I don't trust the scale a lot. And the scale annoys me, because I trust my measurements and knowing that I'm smaller and wearing smaller clothes way more than what the what the scale says on the scale but I would really like the scale to cooperate as well. Just saying. But so far, the water weight has not gone up this week. It's been 2 whole days, but usually when I put on, it's like I finish my cycle and boom, 6 pounds of water weight. So here's hoping it's not going to happen this time. I'm really, really hoping. So I hope that answered your question. Technically, Smart Sweets does raise my blood glucose. I find it necessary for my humanity to risk that occasionally, because I don't feel mentally that I'm getting kicked out of ketosis. And physically, it's usually when I don't care if I'm getting kicked out of ketosis, as long as I am staying in my calories that I'm planning to have. So having it on occasion for a treat is good for my sanity. It's not something that I should do every day. I hope that helped. Also, I have not tried, there's other kinds, and I have not tried them. Smart Sweets is the only ones I've tried, so maybe there's other ones that aren't as bad. When I finally get to the point where I'm deciding that I'm ready to go back into maintenance, I might do some videos like that where I test my blood sugars, but I really don't test anymore. I tested for a little while. I bought well, no, I didn't buy a meter. What am I saying? I bought strips. Melanie Hind gave me a meter for free. Thank you, Melanie. If you guys don't watch her, you should. She's awesome. Anyway, she's always, she's not doing videos at the moment because she didn't get her cell phone back till today, I think. So check her out. But yeah. Anyway, Melanie Hind sent me the thing, the meter, and I did it for a while, and I tested a few foods, but yeah, I'm not a finger poker kind of girl, so I just kind of didn't do it. Especially because my ketones, I think the highest I ever saw them read was 0.7, and I was like, wow, this is depressing, so I'm not going to do this anymore. I haven't checked them now, though, since I've been on this keto cut. So maybe I should. Maybe I will. Maybe you're inspiring me. Maybe I'll pull it out again and try it again and see where I'm at. Okay. Max Zoo says, when I lost 80 pounds, I was always freezing, so I like the heat. Yep, that's me too. I just feel like I'm never warm enough, though I hope I'm finally getting there. It seems like I might be getting there, which might mean my metabolism is changing too. Like, I don't know. So I don't understand half of this stuff. I really don't. Let's see. Pauline Cooper's cat says, I love that I'm never hungry on keto. I never feel deprived either. It's such a satisfying food. I've tried every diet going. This is not a diet. It's amazing. Yeah, exactly. I don't feel like it's a diet either. Even when I'm doing this cut, I still feel very satisfied and like comfortable. I'm eating like less than 1,300 calories and I don't feel like I'm starving. Trying to do less than 1,300 calories of donuts, I'd die. There's no way. No way. I would starve. I would feel like I was starving. Esther Hunter is here also from North Carolina. Welcome. Sabrina says she was never going to forget Eloise. She just had to wait for payday. You're sweet. I have so many birthdays. I don't expect people to send stuff. Ronnie's birthday's on the 31st. She's turning 19. She's an adult. And then I don't think we have any birthdays in August but Dave. Yeah, Dave's the only one in August. And then in September, I have two. I have Phineas and Sullivan 2 days apart. The 23rd is Sullivan, and the 25th is Phineas of September. And then nobody in October, just Halloween. We're big Halloweeners around here. Halloweeners, is that a thing? And then November is mine on the 30th. And then December is my mother-in-law and Jasper. Poor Jasper, December 12th. So, yeah. Where can I get the recipe? I missed the stream. You talked about it. The recipe for the custard, that's actually it wasn't in a live stream. It's in the video where I'm eating it. So if you go look at my foods for weight loss playlist, it should be like the third one down on the list. And I've got the custard in a spoon and a plastic spoon. And I'm like, I look like a dork, like I'm going to eat it. There's also one of me eating chicken, so make sure you get the right one. It's the one where I'm eating custard. That was the first time I tried it, and I actually showed how I made it the very first time. And the way I made it in that video is, I've tried it other ways, but the way I made it in that video is how I'm making it still. But basically, you take I take the 2 eggs, and I whip them up really good so that the yolk is really mixed in with the white. I've found that if I don't do that first, it'll make little white, like, chunks, and that's gross, in the custard. So I whip it up really, really good with a dash of salt and a squirt of, I use the stevia erythritol from Great Value, Walmart. Just 1 squirt of sweetener, because I like it to taste really sweet. You don't have to use a sweetener. I've made it without the sweetener, it's fine. So, but I like it really sweet. So I do that, and I whip it really good. Then I take the whole Premier Protein or Quest shake, just the whole entire pre-made shake, and put it in, whip it up. I add vanilla. You can add the vanilla whenever, but like a half a capful of fake vanilla, the kind that has no carbs. Whip that up, and then I just dash the cinnamon on top. I've tried mixing the cinnamon in, and it doesn't mix in, and it ends up on top anyway. It makes kind of like a crust, almost like a tiramisu. Anyway, I just put the cinnamon on top, pop it in the microwave. Now I have found if I do the whole 4 minutes at once, it will boil over and make it all bubbly and weird. So I do like 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And then let it sit for about 20 seconds. And this I didn't really super show in that video. And then I do it for 30 more. I hit it for 30 more seconds. And just the way doing it that way seemed to make it less bubbly and holy and more solid. But I've also made it in a big deep bowl, and it made it too juicy. It was like drinking it, and that was weird. So you have to make it in like one of those Rubbermaid flat containers that keeps it all nice and even. And that's how I do it. So, but there is a video of it. I think it says lose weight fast in the thumbnail. And that shows all my food for that like 2-week period or whatever. But that's like one of the very first things I put in that video, I think. Let's see. Keto related question from Sabrina. She says, I want to try keto, but I have ARFID, avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. That is a new one. I've never actually heard of that. Is that when you have a hard time tracking and not, when you're on a low calorie, you tend to avoid eating altogether and ends up kind of like in anorexia problems? But yeah, explain that a little bit more so that I can give advice about that. Most issues it's okay to do, but I don't want to give advice. Like, I'm not a doctor, and so I don't want to give advice when I don't understand something. So explain that a little bit better, Sabrina, and I will get to it. Joy Sumlin says, I'm not a new subscriber, but I've never commented before. So hello, good to meet you, Joy. Congratulations on maintaining Wonderland. Thank you so much for your stance on racism. May God continue to bless you. Thank you, sweetheart. She sure is hitting the nail on the head with that. Like, when I lost all those subscribers after talking about Black Lives Matter on the Blackout Tuesday video, I lost so many. I was heartbroken, and I just kept telling myself it didn't matter. And people prayed and wished more subscribers than what I lost to me, and prayed for that, and God has blessed me, and I have far exceeded it since that day. And I owe it all to God and being strong, because I was scared to death to make that video. If you go back and watch it, I was so petrified to make that video. But I'm so grateful that I did, because I just feel like a stronger person when I'm willing to talk about my religion and my beliefs, and also about racism and what's wrong and things like that, you know. Lately, I've been complaining about people wearing masks, and my church came out and asked people to wear masks. And even with the church saying that we should do it, people are still fighting it here in Utah because of their freedoms. And I just cannot wrap my brain around that. But I know that they don't protect you perfectly from the virus, but you know how many masks I have in my car right now? I think there's a few back here. Like, I keep them in the window, because like there's no way I'm going out with, this is the one I brought with me today. And these ones, the only thing I hate about these is this like seam. It's, if I wear it inside out, it's ugly, and if I wear it the right side, it's like it pushes on my nose and gives me a line. But I totally love these. Look how easy they are, right? And they are, oh, it's got something on it. Thought this is the one I just washed. Weird. I have a whole bunch of these. I have like 10 of these, this color. Anyway, it's just 2 pieces of fabric, literally knit, 2 pieces of knit fabric cut. I'm like, I could totally like make these myself if I had a sewing machine, but I don't have one anymore. But if I had one, I could make this in half a second, like with any random fabric that I have lying around, right? It's not even serged. And it's like $2 on gamegear.com. I think it's gamegear.com, something like that. They're a Utah company. They don't pay me for that. I just buy lots of masks for them. I've bought so many. I think I have like 60 masks from them. But I have a lot of kids, and we have to make sure there's always a clean, right? There's always a clean one in my house. We need a lot to make that happen. So anyway, there's my thing on masks. Now you guys probably don't want to hear about that, but ooh, Monica says, well, hello from wet country Galway, Ireland. Woo! Ireland. If there's a place on earth that I would love to see, it would be Ireland and Scotland. I just dream about that. My mother, something you might not know is my mother, when she was very young, I think ages 12 to 16, lived in England, Ireland, and Scotland for 4 years. Across those 3 countries they moved, because at that time our church, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and our church at that time sent families to build churches in other countries. It was a building mission. So if your dad was like a builder, my grandpa built airplanes, actually. He is kind of famous. If you look him up, he has a biplane pattern. Sorry, are you guys still there? My phone overheated. It's in the window. I'm going to take it out and put it by the AC for a sec. Anyway, I turned the car on. Hopefully it won't die. I gotta go soon anyways, because Ronnie will be here any minute. But Anyway, he has a airplane design called the Liberty Sport. Anyway, they lived in England, Scotland, and Ireland for 4 years of my mom's formative life, and that made her like really, really in love with Scotland and Ireland. So I've always like loved that. Anyway, hey Sabrina, don't forget to mention what that was again. Because I lost all the comments when that happens. I think. Oh, maybe I didn't. Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't. They're all here. Woot. Yay, let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Some earlier ones. Eloise. Ireland. Okay, it's there. Tammy says, I definitely added muscle. The Dexa scan is open, and I probably will go in like in September or October, just to kind of see where I'm at. The reason why I haven't had a Dexa is just because I'm trying to avoid places because of COVID-19. I don't want to bring it home because, like, if Dave and I were to die, I have 9 kids and 5 of them are still minors. And that would mean my 4 adult children would have to raise my 5 younger ones if we died. And so I'm like being super cautious about COVID-19. But yeah, anyway. Ari said, oh, hi, I didn't realize this was live. I've lost 165 pounds so far. Woo, that's awesome. And 30 more to go. Any tips as things start to slow down? Yes, raise your protein, lower your fats. That's my biggest suggestion. That's basically what I'm doing. I keep my fats between 50 and 80 and my proteins above 120 grams. Those are grams. And that seems to be kicking it. That seems to be doing the trick. Every once in a while, you should do a high-fat day to kind of like reset your metabolism a bit. And when I do that, I do like 120 protein, 120 fat, but only one day, like once a month kind of thing, or on a special occasion. But that's the best thing. It's really the only way you can do it is caloric deficit, and just be patient. Patient. All right, let's see. Extremely picky eating. Okay, that's what I thought. So, it might actually be beneficial to you because, like, I don't know if you've noticed, if you ever watch my food videos, I get kind of stuck on the same thing, eating the same exact thing. And that really actually helps me because I don't have to track it if I don't want to, because I know exactly how much to have of each thing. And so it really is beneficial that way to, I don't know, like, not think about it and just eat to eat and not eat because it tastes good. Does that make sense? So like I have my custard and my bacon and my cheese every morning, or I have truffles and bacon and cheese, or I have, you know, like fried eggs and bacon and cheese and yogurt. Like, it just depends. I get like stuck in a rut, but the rut is actually part of how it is successful for me because I don't have to think about it. I don't have to want it. I just eat it. And with the protein, I make myself eat the protein even if I don't want to. And I don't give myself a choice. So when you kind of look at it that way, I think it would really be beneficial, especially if it's picky, because you can choose like 3 things that you're willing to eat and just eat only those and you'll be fine. As long as you are keeping on your macros, getting your protein level up, your fats between 50 and whatever your number is, and your carbs below 20. So I think you could do it. I think you should try. You've been watching me a while. You should definitely do it. Selena Foster is here. Welcome. Okay, so she has a hard time eating proteins, and that's part of it. It just makes you gag. Yeah. Finding things that don't. Have you tried that custard? Because it tastes almost like a carb, I'm telling you. It tastes really good. Try it, because that's like 50, I think it's like 50 grams of protein, 30, well, it's at least 40, it's 40 something right in that one dish. So it's worth a try. Just see if you can find something that doesn't taste meaty or eggy. That might help. Truffles might be a good way to do it because you can add blueberries and things to it and cinnamon. Trying to mask the proteiny of it and make it taste more carby, if that makes sense. But it's definitely worth a try. But yeah, definitely don't eat it if you can't force yourself to eat it. Find something that you can, like a protein shake maybe, that you can get down and not vomit when you're having issues like that. But yeah, keep in touch. Keep in touch. Let me know how it goes. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I already talked about that, so I'm sorry about the stream dying, you guys. I'm glad you're still here. Where do I go for a Dexa scan? Here in Utah, we're pretty lucky. There are 3 universities that offer them for discounts, so check your local university. They might have one, and they do. Around here, you can get one at a university. Oh, look how cute. At Ronnie. My cute Ronnie walking her kids over with all their little masks. So cute. Anyway, the university does them for like $20 or $30 depending on the university. But we also, in Utah, you'll notice a lot of the keto companies are in Utah. A mobile that can come. I tried to organize a mobile one, but then COVID hit and it didn't work out. Like, I can get a group together and they'll bring a mobile Dexa scan to my location and do however many people will pay $50. But it's like $65 for one and 90 something for 2 at the Dexa body place. So just search it, Dexa scan in my area, and see what comes up. Some people's areas don't have them, but definitely check universities, because it seems like universities, everyone around here has that option to do it for like their students. So, but yeah, that's when I've done it. Which was better, the vanilla Quest shake or the chocolate? Vanilla, hands down. Quest shake with the chocolate was weird. Like I told Wendy Barron, I think, in a comment, and I think she tried it on her channel. If you guys watch Keto Mom, Mama Does Keto? Keto Mom is a different one. That's Nacine. It's hard for me to remember everybody's channels. I know their names. I don't know their channels. Sorry. I should know them all, but I don't. But Mama Does Keto, Wendy Barron, she showed her chocolate one just a few days ago. She added powder to it. She added cocoa powder to it with my recommendation, because it just doesn't taste chocolatey enough. Also, I put cinnamon on it and it was nasty. Don't put cinnamon on the chocolate. No, it's bad. But the vanilla with extra sweetener and cinnamon on it is really good. And I keep thinking I could add banana extract to it and make like a banana pudding. That would be awesome. And also, like, when I get to maintenance, I might put coconut flakes, like shredded, unsweetened coconut flakes, and whipped cream on top and make like a coconut cream pie, right? Could even do like a pecan crust. Oh my gosh, the ideas I am having. I can't stop thinking about it. So anyway, vanilla was better. But I also hear that it's really good with the caramel. I have not tried the caramel yet. And I'm curious to try it with peaches and cream and just see, but I don't usually buy those flavors. Dave always buys vanilla, and I always think to put vanilla in my cart when I'm doing pickup at Walmart, so that's what I have. All right, am I taking coaching clients again? Not really, but I could. So if you want to, yeah, hit me up. I charge $120 for 4 weeks. And I do it over Marco Polo, and I basically just send videos like this back and forth with you and try and help you stay motivated. It seems like most people that hire me, though, have already lost a lot of weight and are at a standstill for various reasons, and I don't know if it's been very beneficial to people. Nobody seems to like hit me up for my wheelhouse, which is like keto basics and like starting from scratch. I'm not like a super great counselor. I mean, I try, but I'm like not certified as a life coach, emotional coach. I know a lot of stuff, but your mileage may vary. Let's just put it that way. So yes, if you want to message me about coaching, I'm willing to do it. I'm not currently coaching anyone at the moment. Does that make sense? In Portland, the Dexa scan is 95, Keto Cricket says. Hey, April Wooten, welcome. I'm glad I could help, Sabrina. I'm like I said, it's not my wheelhouse, but there you go. Hey, my friend is back. Guys, I'm gonna say hi to Amy. Oh, where are you? There you are. This is the live stream. Say hi. Hi. Earlier I recorded her and she's like, is that the live stream? And I'm like, no. It was hide and seek. All right. The Banana Quest protein shake with banana extract. would be even better. Okay, you guys have to stop me thinking about the custard. It's too much. All right. I should probably go. Oh, vegetarian makes it even harder, especially the way I do it with the higher protein. It's a lot harder. I tried to help my sister-in-law because she's vegan, which is even harder. If you're vegetarian, you can do a lot of dairy products. If you're willing to do eggs, you're gonna be okay. If you can't do eggs, it's a lot more tricky to get that low fat. But if you're willing to do dairy products, you can do the protein shake and the whey powder and to get the protein level high enough to go along with your veggies. But you can eat as many veggies as you want. Like green veggies, even if you eat all 20 carbs in green veggies, like, or even more than that, it seems like green veggies don't really do as much to kick you out of ketosis as, say, eating the Quest bar and eating like several of them. So I hope that helps. I'm not a vegetarian though, you guys know. You do eat eggs and milk, so you're golden. You just gotta get you some Quest shakes and some Premier protein shakes and some eggs and make yourself the custard. You will be happy. It's really good. Oh, I love it. Okay, well, I better go, you guys. Everyone's showing up to pick up their kids, and that means Ronnie's gonna be here any minute, so I'm gonna say goodbye, and I love you, and thanks so much for hanging out with me, and we'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.